It's MLB 24 time. You pre-ordered, you got the deluxe edition. It's time to pick which cards are the best over the Legend Pack, the Barrier Breaker Pack, and the Cornerstone. There's best cards and some not so good cards, so you're going to want to pick the good one. Leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. All right, so we'll kick off with this one. The Cornerstone Captains. Everybody gets this regardless if they pre-ordered the $500 edition or if they got the game used. They just found it on the road. You get this pack. And you got Byron Buxton, 88 overall. And yeah, some stuff stands out or perhaps stands quite small. The vision is not great, but you'll notice that's a constant for a lot of cards. The contact also not exactly what I would call high. The power's good. The speed's great. And he's pretty dang good at fielding. It's what you expect with Buxton, but you got to remember, you're playing low difficulty games on online and offline to start off against presumably lower rated pitchers. Buxton, pretty good. I like that. And of course, these cards are captains, so they do boost as well. Here with Nolan Arenado, personally, not a huge fan of the swing. He's got decent power at 77, 86. Really, you've only got the fielding with Nolan Arenado. I mean, yes, the contact right is better than Buxton, but otherwise his contact left is pretty much the same. So you're left with an infielder, not as versatile as an outfielder, who's a fifth of the speed, has the same defense, less power. He's only really got more vision and contact, so he can see better. Big whoop. I like Buxton more. Shocker as a Twins fan. Then Kodai Senga. I will say we don't have stats on Greg Maddux, but you know he dices. Kodai does have a good mix. Last year, he had the Ghost Fork, of course, and he comes in with a cutter, I believe, as well. You actually see it right there, so I should just shut up. He's got 97 miles an hour on the four-seamer. Pretty good differentials. A 14-mile-an-hour drop-off from that fork is pretty dirty. He would be good. I do think Maddux is going to shred more, especially against novice players. That sinker-cutter combo just really works. I'll be honest, I think Maddux is the best. Buxton's the most fun, but this is pretty cool. You can exchange your Cornerstone captains if you don't like them. So if you do pick Buxton and you realize that you need to book him for cataract surgery, you're fine because you can just make a different choice, which very happy. Look at SDS making a consumer-friendly choice. I'm surprised. Here we go. This is the Legend Pack. If you got the MVP edition or higher, you're able to pick one of Chase Utley or other legends. But let's look at Chase, Mets fans' favorite player. He's balanced. I mean, mid-70s, low 80s across the board, speed, fielding, hitting. He's pretty much exactly what you'd think an early game card would look like with no concessions to any attribute. But at the same time, he's not amazing at anything. I guess durability stays on the field. At least he can, even if Ruben can't. We got Adrian Beltre. Of course, a brand new legend. A lot of people excited to see him. And me too. He's got 90s on contact and power versus righties. He's got diamond defense out of the gate with 50-plus speed. And he can play shortstop, so you got some versatility. I have noticed a lot of cards don't seem to have that many secondaries right now. I think Beltre's really good, but I also like Utley. Let's keep going. I will say Griffey's probably not the move because he can't hit lefties. He's a platoon bat. 62, 78, 61. Can it be done? Sure. But if it can be done, then why are you watching this? You know, you're already at like a 1,000 rating in ranked seasons. It doesn't matter. My opinion's useless too. I think there's better options than Griffey. He's an exciting name. I just definitely think, like even Buxton, I like that as a choice more than Ken Griffey Jr. right here. We'll move on to Nohan rather, who's got a sinker cutter combo as well as a changeup as his primary. Doesn't throw too hard, about 95, I believe, on the four-seamer. And the BB9's pretty good. His pitch clutch is pretty good. It's over 100. Remember, clutch for hitters and pitchers is pretty paramount. Now, the hit 9, a little bit lower, but he's a lefty, he's like a slightly different lefty Greg Maddux in a way. I think he's going to be really good. Not just that Twinkie bias running through my veins either. Yeah, that's a good card. That's a damn good starting pitcher to kick off the year. Richie Sexson, the Sex God. I had an inkling, I had a feeling that this card was going to be something special. Turns out I was right. 100 plus power both ways. He's got good contact. The vision, again, you notice that is a theme here. The fielding, not great. I would not put him in left field unless you've been having bad thoughts and you just want it all to go downhill. Don't do it. Keep him at first. It's his primary position for a reason. I think this is the best hitting card. I know the vision's a bit lower. I know he doesn't have the speed that some of these other guys do. If you're purely looking for hitting, Richie Sexson is your guy. Andrew Miller, he is probably the best compared to his peers in his position. If you think of lefty relievers at launch, it's unlikely many, if any, are going to match Andrew Miller. But do you really want to spend this pick on a relief pitcher? I don't know. His mix is kind of what you come to expect. It's a fastball, slider, changeup, I do believe, in which he's got one of those fastballs being a sinker. Yeah, you see the sinker coming at 95. The wipeout slider is really what makes Andrew Miller. He's really good. He's only been out like a year, but he was sorely missed. He's going to be great. I just maybe buy him instead of use this pick if you got the extra stubs. And then Matt Cain. He's not the sexy pick, at least unless you live in the Bay Area. I don't know. He's good, though. He's got good stats. The intangibles are all there. Again, he's got that sinker. You probably used his card last year from the Extreme program if you didn't stop playing by then. Matt Cain, pretty good. All in all, out of these cards, I think Beltre I like the most. Chase Utley's probably second. I like Richie Sexson a lot. I like Johan. I just like Beltre and Chase. They're so balanced. They're like the epitome of what you would kick off a season with. And then here we go. We got Vlad. This is the card that you get for collecting all of the Legend Pack players and the Barrier Breakers, which we'll talk about in a second. Presuming they go for about 15 to 20K, this probably isn't that worth it. Remember, these are core cards, so you can use them in next corresponding seasons when there's a complete wipe and you are in dire need of good players. But I have a feeling you're going to build a bit of a report of live series where this probably isn't really worth it. Even at launch, this isn't an insane card. Even I, a very liberal user of that word, probably wouldn't go that far. Here's the Barrier Breakers. Now, you only get this if you upgraded your Game Pass to the Deluxe, that $40 upgrade. You got the Negro League Collector's Edition, or you got the Digital Deluxe. You'll get this pack right here. Josh Gibson, brand new legend, catcher primary, can play corner, infield, all of outfield. With 70 speed, that's pretty good. His contact is a bit low. His power's pretty high at mid-80s. And he's got 80 fielding with 81 arm and good block at catcher too. That is probably going to be most people's catcher. I know a lot of people are excited that Josh Gibson is in this game. We got Tony Stone. Some people aren't excited that she's in this game, but her card is really good. Mid-hundreds, contact both ways, 70, 65 power at a stout 5'7", 146-pound frame. She packs a punch. Good defense at 79, no secondaries, but second baseman can play shortstop. She'll still have a silver shield. 80 speed, I like it. That's pretty good. We got Buck Leonard, first base. He's good, but he's a first baseman. I will say he can play left field. 61 speed is plenty fine, especially early game. The power's pretty good. The more I look at this card, the more I get convinced. This is a tough pick. This ain't easy. I'm still going to say Josh Gibson leading, though, out of the Barrier Breakers. We got Hank Aaron, who's got 80, 82 contact, upper 70s power against both sides. He's a shortstop primary, which is something you're probably not used to Hank Aaron. 80-plus speed, good arm, but his fielding at a premium position like shortstop. It's going to get even worse in the secondary at second base. Good hitting, the fielding just kind of kills it. Jackie, I think, would be a better choice. His fielding is kind of similar, but he's quicker. And the speed, definitely, you come to notice early game, especially with the disengagement rule. I think speed's going to be kind of important. He's got good contact, but then again, Tony Stone's kind of better on pretty much every metric. She's got more contact. She is like the same or better power. better fielding, and she's pretty much as quick. I think Toni Stone might be the second best, at least until we get to the best. A little spoiler alert. We got Satchel Paige. You guys probably remember facing him. It took an hour with his windup last year. I do believe he has a quickened windup from the not the stretch, the windup. I just said it. He's good. 89 hit 9, 77 K9, 74 BB9. He throws really hard. He has outliers, so he will really feel that 74 BB9. You're going to throw a lot of balls with him. I think he's good, but he's not Martin Dihigo. It kind of all leads up to this. If you're going to pick one, it's this guy right here. Martin Dihigo, a two-way player. He's got every secondary, from catcher to entire infield to the outfield, and he does all of that at a gold shield with 80-plus speed. And he also has mid-90s power with 80 vision and upper 70s contact. It is insane. I'll use the word, and he can pitch. He's not the bat. He's not Randy. He's not righty Randy on the bump. 66 hit 9 isn't great, but he's got velo, and he's got a sinker. He's got a 5-pitch mix. That is by far that's the best pre-order card, bar none. If you can pick one, it's going to be Martin Dihigo. So the game's about to come out. It might be out by the time that this comes out. So that's who I'd pick. I'm going to go, I think, Buxton, Beltre, Dihigo. That's my choices. Let me know in the comment section who you guys are going to choose. We're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/GomesLegend. Come check it out. And let's get ready. MLB 24, baby. Fuck yeah.